Did you know that one simple lie from my boyfriend turned my dream life into a nightmare I barely escaped? He whispered, I'm dying, marry me now, pulling at my heartstrings in ways I couldn't ignore. But what I uncovered in his hidden files shattered everything, secrets that could destroy us both. Stick around, you won't believe how I turned the tables and reclaimed my freedom before it was too late. I'm Emily, 28, and I've been with my boyfriend, Mark, 32, for just over a year. We met at a coffee shop in downtown Seattle, classic rainy day, both reaching for the last muffin at the counter. He was charming, with that easy smile and stories about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Things escalated quickly. By month 4, we were talking about moving in together. He had this cozy apartment in Capitol Hill, overlooking the city lights. I thought it was perfect. Looking back, maybe I ignored how insistent he was about combining our lives so soon. He'd say things like, we're soulmates, why wait? I chalked it up to passion. Life seemed great at first. Mark worked as a software engineer for a tech startup, always talking about his big projects. But lately, he'd been hinting at settling down, pointing out wedding venues during drives, asking if I wanted kids soon. I'm not against it. I grew up in a stable family in Portland, Oregon, with parents who've been married 35 years. But I believe in taking time. My last relationship ended because my ex rushed everything, and it blew up. I told Mark I needed to feel secure first. Then, last Friday evening, he came home looking pale and shaken. He asked me to sit on the living room couch, the one we'd picked out together at IKEA. I have to tell you something serious, he said, his voice cracking. He pulled out a folded paper from his pocket, a doctor's note, or so it looked. I went for a checkup because I've been feeling off. It's cancer. Stage 3. They say I might have 6 months, maybe a year with treatment. My world stopped. I felt tears well up instantly. What? How? You never mentioned symptoms. He explained fatigue, headaches, a lump he'd found. He hugged me tight, saying, I don't want to waste time. Marry me, Emily. Let's do it soon, while I can still enjoy it. I want you as my wife before it's too late. It hit me like a truck. I loved him, or thought I did. We spent the night crying, planning. He wanted a quick courthouse wedding in 2 weeks, then a honeymoon in Hawaii, his dream spot. No big fuss, he said. Just us, making memories. I agreed, numb and terrified. But something nagged at me. He seemed too composed, almost rehearsed. And why hadn't he shared any health worries before? Over the weekend, I noticed inconsistencies. He wasn't acting sick, no nausea from supposed meds, no calls to oncologists. He even went for a run Sunday morning, energetic as ever. When I suggested we see his doctor together for details, he bristled. It's private, Em. Trust me. I'll handle the appointments. That raised flags. My aunt had battled cancer, she was glued to her phone scheduling treatments. Monday, while he was at work, guilt gnawed at me, but I couldn't shake the doubt. I snooped through his desk drawer in our home office. There, buried under papers, was a stack of documents. Not medical records, but printouts from a website called FakeMedX.com, instructions on forging doctor notes, templates for illnesses. The date on one matched his diagnosis paper, ordered 3 days prior, shipped to his office. My hands shook as I photographed everything. He'd planned this? To fake cancer for a rushed marriage? Why? Digging deeper, I found emails on his laptop. Password was our anniversary, too easy. One to a buddy, this'll lock her down. She's skittish about commitment, but no one says no to a dying man. Another mentioned his fear I'd leave if he didn't seal the deal. I felt sick, betrayed. This wasn't love, it was a trap. When he got home, I confronted him calmly over dinner. Mark, what's this? I showed the photos. His face went white. That's not, it's a joke site. For fun. A joke? You faked cancer to force a wedding? He broke down, admitting he was scared of losing me. You kept delaying talks about the future. I thought this would push us forward. Push us? It was manipulation, pure and simple. We argued for hours. He begged forgiveness, said it was a desperate act of love. I told him to pack and leave by morning. My name wasn't on his lease, but I had my own savings and a friend's couch in Bellevue if needed. He left quietly, or so I thought. Update 1. A week later, things escalated. Mark wouldn't accept the breakup. He bombarded my phone with texts, I'm sorry, let's talk, mixed with guilt trips like, you're abandoning me when I need you most. He even showed up at my office in the tech district, flowers in hand, causing a scene. My boss had to escort him out. Then his sister called from Chicago, where their family lives. How could you dump him over a misunderstanding? He's heartbroken. I explained the fake documents, sent her the photos. Silence, then, he wouldn't do that. But doubt crept in her voice. By midweek, mutual friends started siding. Some believed his spin, that I was cold for not forgiving a moment of panic. Others, after seeing evidence, backed me. That's twisted, M. Good riddance. I changed locks on my storage unit where I'd moved some stuff, just in case. He tried one more ploy, claiming the cancer was real now, that stress triggered it. Come to my appointment, he said. I demanded proof, a real doctor's email or records. Crickets. My therapist, yeah, I started sessions, said it was classic gaslighting. I blocked him everywhere. His next move came 2 weeks later, right when I thought the storm had passed. I was grabbing groceries at the Trader Joe's on Capitol Hill when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Check your email. You'll want to see this. Attached was a PDF, my full credit report, social security number redacted. But everything else visible, my student loans, my car payment, even my old address in Portland. Below it, a message from Mark, you ruined my life. Now everyone will know who you really are. He doxed me. Not just to me, to a group email that included my boss, my coworkers, my mom, and half our old friend list. The subject line read, The Real Emily, $47K in debt and counting. He'd twisted facts, claiming I was a gold digger who dumped him the second he got sick, that I'd been using him for rent money, never mind that I paid half the utilities and groceries every month. I stood frozen in the frozen foods aisle, ice cream melting in my cart. My boss replied all within minutes, Emily, call me when you get this. I thought I was going to be fired. Instead, when I called, she said, I've seen the screenshots you sent around last month. This looks like harassment. HR has already flagged it. Take tomorrow off, we've got your back. Relief hit me so hard I almost cried next to the frozen pizzas. But Mark wasn't done. That same night, fake profiles popped up on my Instagram. And LinkedIn, photos of me cropped weirdly, bios calling me a heartless user who abandons dying men. Comments flooded in from burner accounts, karma's coming, hope you sleep well knowing you killed him. It was coordinated, vicious, and terrifying. I drove straight to the Seattle PD downtown precinct. The officer who took my statement sighed the second I said, ex-boyfriend revenge porn light. He'd seen it 100 times. Within 48 hours I had a temporary anti-harassment order. Serving it to Mark felt surreal. He opened his apartment door in sweatpants, looking like he hadn't slept in days, and just signed without a word. You'd think that would stop him. It didn't. 3 days later, my mom called screaming. Someone had created a GoFundMe in Mark's name, help Mark fight terminal cancer after his fiancée abandoned him for $1,200 raised in 24 hours. The photo was him in a hospital gown, except I recognized the background. It was from 2-year-old Halloween costume pic flipped and filtered. People were sharing it on Facebook neighborhood groups, tagging me, calling me every name in the book. I reported the page with screenshots of the fake Dr. Docs. GoFundMe shut it down and refunded everyone within hours, but the damage was done. Strangers were messaging me, how do you live with yourself? One woman even found my parents' landline in Portland and left a voicemail telling my dad he raised a monster. That night I sat on my bathroom floor and ugly cried for the first time since the breakup. My best friend Sarah flew up from San Francisco the next morning, took one look at me, and said, we're ending this today. She's a cybersecurity analyst, way smarter than me about this stuff. We gathered every piece of evidence, the fake med docs, the doxing email headers, the GoFundMe link, the harassment order, texts where he admitted the cancer was fake. She wrote a cease and desist on her company letterhead, technically a gray area, but scary looking, and we sent it certified mail plus email. Then we went nuclear in the gentlest way possible, truth bombs. I made one private Instagram story, visible only to our mutual circle, laying out the timeline with redacted screenshots. No ranting, just facts. This is what emotional abuse and revenge looks like. Please stop sharing the GoFundMe. I tagged no one. Within hours, people started replying privately, holy crap, I had no idea. I'm so sorry I shared that. The tide turned fast. Mark's sister texted me an apology, he's spiraling. Our parents are forcing him into therapy. I'm mortified. His best friend from college called and said, dude's been lying to all of us too. We're done with him. The online attack slowed to a trickle, then stopped. The final chapter unfolded over the next 6 weeks, quieter than the chaos but heavier in its own way. 2 weeks after Sarah helped me drop the truth bomb, I was walking my dog along Lake Union when I got a call from a number I almost didn't recognize. It was Mark's mom, voice trembling like she'd been crying. Emily, he's in the hospital. For real this time. He tried to hurt himself last night. They pumped his stomach at Harborview. My legs went weak. I sat on a bench while she talked. Apparently after his friends cut him off, after his sister moved out of their shared family condo in Bellevue, after the GoFundMe got refunded and people started calling him a fraud to his face, he unraveled. Took a handful of sleeping pills with a bottle of Jack. His coworker found him because he no-showed a stand-up meeting, something he'd never done. I didn't go to the hospital. I couldn't. But I did feel something, pity mixed with anger, weirdly, relief that he was alive and getting forced into psych care. His mom begged me to visit, said I was the only one who could fix him. I told her gently, the only person who can fix Mark is Mark. I'm not his savior. I'm the woman he tried to scam into marriage out of with fake cancer. She hung up crying. A week later I got served papers at work. Not from Mark, from a collections agency. Turns out while we were together he'd opened 2 credit cards in my name, he'd grabbed my driver's license one night when I was asleep, photographed it, and the security code on the back. $11,400 in charges, new MacBook, Apple Watch, a deposit on a Tesla he never picked up, random Amazon splurges. All while he was pretending to be dying. I lost it. Called the police again, filed identity theft reports, froze my credit, spent hours on hold with fraud departments. The detective handling my harassment case linked the 2 files. Mark got charged with felony identity theft on top of violating the anti-harassment order. He'd used one of the fake accounts to email me from the hospital, "This is your fault." The prosecutor offered him a plea deal, inpatient treatment plus restitution or jail time. He took the deal. I never saw him again after that. 5 weeks ago the charges were paid off in full, money his parents fronted to keep their son out of prison. His mom sent a short handwritten note with the cashier's check. "We are so deeply regret the pain our son caused you. There are no words. Please take care of yourself." Nothing else. I donated half the money to a local domestic abuse nonprofit and used the rest to finally book the solo trip to Iceland I'd been dreaming about since college. Flew out last month, stood under the edge of a glacier at midnight with the northern lights exploding overhead, and for the first time in a year I could breathe without looking over my shoulder. I still jump when my phone buzzes too many times in a row. I still triple-check locks. My therapist says the hypervigilance will fade, but the body keeps score for a while. But I'm dating again, slowly. A guy from my hiking group, no pressure, just coffee and easy laughter. When he asked why I'm so careful about taking things slow, I told him the short version. He didn't flinch. Just said, "You deserved honesty. I'll never make you earn it." Last week I ran into one of our old mutual friends at Pike Place Market. She hugged me without hesitation and whispered, "He moved to Texas last month. New job, new start, court-mandated therapy twice a week. I think he finally gets it." I nodded, bought my flowers, walked back into the rain feeling light. That's the end of the story. No dramatic courthouse showdown, no viral takedown video. Just a woman who refused to marry a lie, paid a brutal price for it, and came out the other side standing. Sometimes the victory is quiet. You lock the door, you heal, you keep walking. And one day you realize the monster isn't behind you anymore. He's just a guy in Texas going to therapy, while you're watching the aurora borealis with your own money and your own peace.